Hey guys, what's going on? This is Dom with Pie for Life Games, and I'm here with our friend George, who just played in the remote Duel Extravaganza this weekend. And how did you do, George?
I went X3 and I got 89th in my first invite, so I'm super excited about it. I was playing Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade and I thought it was actually a really cool deck to play this weekend. A lot of people didn't respect it, so they got punished.
There you go. Well, congrats on getting your first ever invite in a Konami event.
Thank you.
So we're happy for you. So why don't you go ahead and let's get started with the deck profile.
Alright, so first thing is for the Tri-Brigade monsters, we played kind of a basic ratio. It was 3 Fractal, 3 Karas, 3 Nerval, and then 2 Kit. The only reason why I played 2 Kit, because you don't want to open this too much. It's the only Tri-Brigade monster that really doesn't do anything on its own. Nerval, you can make Link Rebo with it and start your place. Karas is a really good extender and you need to open this. And then Fractal is the best Tri-Brigade starter that you can get, and that's why we play Tenki as well. So that's the reason for all of those.
Okay.
And then the Lyrilusc engine, I actually cut down on this a little bit more than everyone else. So I played 3 Turquoise, 1 Cobalt, and 1 Sapphire. So 3 Turquoise, just because it's a free summon out of hand, it literally works like Cyber Dragon, as long as you control no monsters. Cobalt, the only reason I played 1 is just because I never found the second one coming up. I never wanted to turbo through my deck that much because once you get into a grind game, it's really hard to actually play through it because Tri-Brigades just don't have the best grind. Your X deck is really your grind game with it. But so I only wanted to play 1 just for combo purposes, and same with Sapphire.
Makes sense.
And then I played 3 Rescue Cat as the other starter. This card is absolutely insane. The only reason I didn't play 2 is because I'm not playing Prosperity in this list because I don't own it. So Rescue Cat, it literally summons out 2 beasts. It loads up your grave for 4 guys. So just off of this and any tri-beast, you're ending on at least Appaloosa, Simord, and Statue. So
Alright.
that card is nuts. And then for the 1 target, I only played Stormwinds. The only reason I didn't play Apex Avian is because you're already running 5 bricks in the deck. So you're running Driver, Stormwinds, Sapphire Swallow, you're running Oath, and you're running Rendezvous. So I wanted to minimize the amount of chances of seeing my bricks as possible. So that's the only reason I only ran this, and I didn't run Apex Avian at all.
Okay. Were there any situations where you wish you had Apex Avian as a target to summon?
There really weren't, just because I was able to summon a Cobalt Sparrow and then search Nerval, or I could just summon a Nerval and then make Harpy Conductor on my opponent's turn. Or I could just link them all off into Appaloosa, and there goes my protection from Nibiru as I'm going for the kill. So that's the only reason why I didn't decide to play it as well, because I just didn't see it come up too often.
Okay.
And then for hand traps, I'm only playing 2 hand traps in the main. So of course I'm playing the Gamma package. This card is nuts in here. It works off of Rescue Cat because Rescue Cat sends to grave as cost. So you can Gamma in response to it because they have to Ash that card. So being able to Gamma into that and you force your opponent to go -2 is really nice. And then I played 3 Droll in the main. This was a last-minute addition. This was originally 3 copies of Ash, but Droll was so much better this format. It works against every single meta deck. It works against a ton of the rogue decks, so it works against this. It works against Prank Kids to some degree. It works against pretty much everything that they could throw at you. So this card in the main was really good. And then we're on to spells. So we played 3 Tenki just to search the Fractal. And then we played 2 Book of Moon.
How was this card this weekend?
This card was actually pretty nuts. There were instances where I had to just normal summon Stormwinds, set Book of Moon, and pass. And this single-handedly won me those games. Because then I would on the next turn, I just normal summoned like a Nerval, made Harpy Conductor, and then got my Nerval search, got my entire engine going. So this card was really good. Against Zodiac Eldritch, I was able to actually Book of Moon their normal summon, and then I was able to bounce their Tenki on my turn, sending the Stormwind so I could play, and then I could OTK him. So this allowed me to have that flexibility to be able to do things like that. And this was originally Talents, but people just weren't playing into Talents, and this also going second is really nice as well. So That was really good. And then for one-of spells, I played Called by the Grave, Foolish Burial, and 1-for-1. Foolish Burial, you have so many targets. 1-for-1, you can summon your Cobalt Sparrow off of it and just get free searches. And then Called by the Grave, just because you don't want to get hit by stuff like Lancia.
Right.
So, because that's the biggest hindrance for the deck.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then for the other one-of Tri-Brigade spell, I played Rendezvous. This and Kit were what allowed the deck to just go off of one card, make statue with protection. So you're able to send this, and this protects any of your linked Tri-Beast monsters from being destroyed by battle or card effects. So actually going second against a deck, I was able to send this, and I was able to play it around Torrential, because they decided to Torrential me with 4 guys on board, and I just banished this to protect 3 of them. So that came up really well, and then I OTK'd them through it. So, and then for the trap cards in the deck, I played 3 copies of Revolt and 2 Oath. Oath is pretty standard. This one comes up actually quite a bit, because there's a lot of going second decks this format. There's Mech Knight Invoked, you have Dinos, and then anything else that could just put like Dragoon in. So this card going second is able to, or this card going first, sorry, is able to negate Dark Ruler no more. It's able to negate Mystic Mine, so this just allows you to play in so many different ways. Having 3 Tri-Beasts on field, you banish this, and then you just target their Dark Ruler, and then it turns off that interruption, and then Revolt. Revolt is how you win grind games. This is what gives you your follow-up. This is what gives you interruption through Dark Ruler if you can't set up Oath. And then this is what also, it just fills up your graveyard for the next turn, because it can summon from Banished or Grave to link them off into any Tri-Beast monster, or any Tri-Brigade monster, sorry. So you summon Shureg on your opponent's turn with Nerval, hopefully Fairjet, and then your Kit. So you have 4 chain links deep. I use this to banish somebody's Appaloosa. Well, they had LP underneath it by chain blocking it, and then they just sat on LP, and I was able to kill them through it. So that was really nice. And it's a 40-card main deck.
All right.
There wasn't anything I really felt that was missing from here. I might have cut down maybe 1 Revolt to play something else, but that's about it.
Okay.
So that's it for the main deck. And then for the extra deck, the Tri-Brigade ratio is pretty standard. So it's 2 Fairjet, 1 Rugal, and 2 Shureg. Fairjet's able to summon any of your Tri-Beasts from hand that are level 4 or lower, and then you're able to draw cards off of it, so that's really useful, and put back cards, put back like your bricks like Stormwinds, put back stuff that's not even useful in the matchup like Droll if you happen to draw into it starting, and then just dig for better follow-ups or whatnot. Rugal helps going second into boards because it's a link 3, so you're able to use this plus like a Shureg to go into access code. You're able to use this as an interruption on your opponent's turn with Shureg, because you can summon back one of your Tri-Beasts from hand or grave, and then you trigger Shureg's effect to banish. And then obviously this one, you want to play 2 because of Revolt. You also want to play 2 because you use 1 for combo if you're setting up for Oath and Grave. So you need the search off of it, and you need the ability to go second with it. So that's why you play those ratios. And Rugal is something that a lot of people like to cut. I honestly didn't see that coming up just because it bounces stuff back to your hand that you might want. Like you can summon back a Fractal off of it, and then at the end phase your Fractal comes back to hand. So everything's live. So you have a follow-up play, and that just allows you to keep playing into a grind game. Then we obviously played the 1 Simorg and the 1 Linkuriboh. People were normally playing this for Almirage. I felt like Linkuriboh is a little bit better just because with Linkuriboh, you're able to just protect your statue. You're able to just protect your board in general. And then Simorg, obviously, to summon any of your Wing Beasts from deck. So that was useful. And then for Link 2s, it's Harpy Conductor and then Double Dragon Lords. Double Dragon Lord's effect to bounce is really good this format, especially with Disruption being a big thing. Against like Prank Kids, for instance. they normal summon a guy and then they go battle phase. So you have the disruption off of this. They can't link anything off, even if they have Dark Roar, or you can just bounce their normal summon. So against any deck, so that's really useful. And then Harpy Conductor, just because it takes 2 wind monsters. There's a lot of times after you set up board where you just need to summon this to get yourself out of statue lock, and then on top of it, it helps set up going second because you're able to. Or it helps set up going first because you're able to use your Lyrilusc engine to make this. So that's why you play it. And then for Link 4's Access Code and Appaloosa, Access Code I made probably about 10 times this entire weekend. And then Appaloosa I made on turn 3 about maybe 5. So this card is really helpful. Once again, it's a wind, so you have to play it just to get you out of statue lock. And then Access Code being able to just OTK is really nice, especially since you pump it up by 4K with Shureg.
Yeah.
And then for the XZ monsters, I played Nightingale, Recital Starling, and Zeus. Zeus came up quite a few times. I'm seeing some people cut it, but that's fine if it doesn't come up for them. For me, it came up about 4 times where I ended up making Nightingale and summoning Zeus. Actually against Zodiac Eldritch, going second in making this, or any Eldritch variant for that matter, going second in making Nightingale and just slapping on a Zeus just clears the whole board. This deck has a lot of trouble dealing with large established boards, so being able to make Zeus and just clear that up and simplify the game state is really nice. And then Recital, obviously, to search any of your level 1 wing beasts. So that could be your Nervals, that could be any of your Lyrilusc cards. So you have to play that for combo. And then for the final card, I decided to play 1 Omega. Just being able to clear up your zones for summoning your what's the word? For summoning your Turquoise Warbler. Yeah. To summon your Turquoise Warbler, force your opponent to go -2 off of hand trapping you too early and punishing them. Just being able to do so many things with this card is really nice. And then for side deck, I played 3 Lancia. This card siding it in, I was never upset with it. Lancia is just so good this format. Dragon Link has trouble OTKing you through Lancia because they have trouble actually breaking the board because they can't Levianeer. They can't do a lot of things, so Lancia is really nice. Dinos, it's really good against the whole Shaddoll engine. It's really nice. There's a lot of different things that Lancia or the Invoked and Dogmatica engine, not Shaddoll, sorry. But against those, Lancia is really good. And then Phantasme I played. I never drew this, so I can't really comment on it, but I think I would cut it anyway, just because it's not synergistic with the Lyrilusc engine. You can't summon like your Turquoise if this is on the field, but it does draw you into your side deck, so there are good things about it. I don't know if I would actually cut it or not though. And then I played Tunib into Ash just because I was running out of kind of like space, and I wanted to have just something else that I could side in for certain matchups. So I wanted to side in the Nib, obviously for stuff like all the combo decks, other Birdmeers, Dragon Link, pretty much anything that this would stop. And then Ash, I felt like people weren't respecting like the tier 2 decks enough, so like Prank Kids and whatnot. And it shows with the records with that 3 Prank Kid lists got top 16. So Ash actually came up quite a bit this weekend, and I'm very happy I played it. And then also against Dinos too, being able to Ash their Misk and being able to interact with their Grave effects is useful. And then I also played the 1 Pankratops. This is the only like going second like board breaking card that I played. I played against Infernoble, and I'm glad that I played this because dealing with Arclight is really tough for this deck because you can't go ahead and Fractal. There's a lot of things that you just can't do. So that being able to beat over the Arclight was really helpful. And then for back row hate cards, I played the 1 Red Reboot, the Feather Duster, and the 2 Twin. If I had Lightning Storms, I still probably wouldn't play it. I think Twin is probably one of the better back row cards this format. You're able to hit all the quick play or all of the like continuous traps. You're able to hit Schisms. Whenever it comes to Eldritch, you're able to hit like Conquistador so it doesn't resolve. You're able to hit all kinds of different things. So Twin Twisters was very helpful in regards to that. Being able to go standby phase and destroy like a Prank Kids Pandemonium is really nice, because then they can't activate it, because it can only be activated during main phase. And then obviously Red Reboot and Harpy's Feather Duster to just deal with trap boards.
Yeah, just 2 good blowout cards.
Yeah, 2 good blowout cards that come up.
Alrighty. Well, what were your matchups like over the weekend?
I have them right here, actually. My matchups were, for game 1, I played against DDDs. I took that 2-1. I played against Dragon Link, round 2 for 2-1. I played against, and then round 3, I played against Virtual World. Virtual World was kind of a hard matchup, so they beat me on that 0-2. And then I played the Mirror in round 4, and I took that 2-0. Round 5, I played against Salad. I misplayed and I lost the first game, and then game 2, he just opened up pretty much every hand trap that could stop me. He opened up Droll, Ash, and Lancia, so I physically couldn't play. And then 6 was Dinos. I took that one 2-0. Oath came in clutch because it was going second Dinos, and they dropped Dark Ruler No More in their main deck, and I was able to just go Oath, target it, and that's what won me the match there. Round 7 was against Infernoble Outlich. This one took me majorly by surprise, but I just had no clue how to side against it, and they won that one. And then round 8 was up against Zodiac Outlich, and I took that 2-0. So,
all right. Any shout-outs that you want to give?
Yeah, there are actually a couple ones. For one, I want to give a shout-out to my buddy Bill Way. He got second with going second Sky Strikers at the Extravaganza, so I'm really happy for him. And then I'd love to give a shout-out to everyone at Team Pie for Life. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been great to help me playtest, and honestly, it makes me so happy. I went to you guys multiple times. Hey, what should I do about this? You guys were always there to give me great advice on pretty much anything dealing with the game, so thank you so much. And then finally, I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend, Danielle. Thank you for getting me into the game. You're the one who taught me all the fundamentals, and you kind of helped shape me into the player that I am today, so thank you.
All right, well, congrats again, George, on getting your very first invite in a Konami event. We're really happy for you. We're glad that you did really well. And if you guys enjoyed this deck profile, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more future competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content, and we'll see you guys in the next video.